Hi everyone, I'm Steve Sturman. I am the instructional designer here at the School of Social Work. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to use Panopto to record lectures or videos that you can then share with your students online. So I'm going to start by showing you how to access the Panopto website. So to do this, what you want to do is go to ubit.buffalo.edu. And when you do this, you will come to this website. Let me do this. So on this website, this is the main UB support website. There's a bunch of different information here which you will find helpful. Today we're going to focus on Panopto though. So when you get to the website, ubit.buffalo.edu, what you want to do is roll over service guides and then go down to teaching technology. And if you click on teaching technology, it will take you to this page. And right here in this first set of bullets, you will see recording with Panopto. So if you click on recording with Panopto, that will take you to the Panopto page. And on here you'll find a whole bunch of helpful information. You will find instructions on how to download and install Panopto. So you can install this onto your laptop, your home computer, whatever you would like to use to capture your audio and video. And these are instructions on how to do that. You'll also find some get started guides, some videos, and you'll also find documents on best practices and some of the other features within Panopto. So once you get here, you'll find all these resources. So if I'm covering something today and you want more information on how to do that or a different explanation because you think that might help you understand it better, this is where you can go to get some more information. So also on this page, you'll see this blue button at the top of the page to log into Panopto. So you want to hit that button, and when you hit that button, Panopto is going to ask you to log in. So you will log in with your UBIT name and password. And once you've logged in, you'll get to a page that looks similar to this. And on this page, I want to point out a few different things. Over here in the left-hand column, you'll see My Folder. If you click into that, that is where you're going to find all of your recordings once you do a recording. In here, you can add folders. So what I would recommend if you're teaching multiple classes, you would probably want to create a folder for each class. So you can just enter in a name there, Class 2 for instance, and then hit enter, and you'll see that folder appear in your list here. The reason you want to do this if you're teaching multiple classes is then when you're doing your recordings, you can have your recordings go into that specific folder. So it's a better way to organize stuff. So if you're looking for stuff later on, it's easier to find the videos that you're looking for. So definitely create subfolders, and that will help you out. You'll also notice if you create a video and don't tell it what folder to go into, it'll just drop right into your My Folder area by default. A few other things on this page that are important. Again, up here in the upper right-hand corner is the option to download the software. So if you don't have the software installed on your personal machine yet, you can also click there to install it. And then the other important button is this Create button. And this is how you go to create a new video. So if you click Create, you have a couple different options. But what you're looking for is the Record a New Session. So when you hit Record a New Session, this is going to open the Panopto software. So I'm just going to hit Open Panopto Recorder. And then this is the actual Panopto software. And this is what you're going to use to do your recordings. You'll notice here at the top, you'll notice where the default folder where your video recording is going to go. So the default is my folder. If you don't change anything here, it'll go there automatically. You can use this arrow down here to select which folder you want this to go into. So in my folder, I could then select Class 2. And now when I do a recording, it will go into Class 2. Just so you know, if you don't use this option, you can always go into the website later on and you can move those files around. Another thing you can do under name, what Panopto will do is it'll use the day and time you did your recording as a default. But you can enter a name in here if you would like to. And I would recommend doing this because it will make it easier for you to find your videos later on. So I'm just going to call this Panopto Demo. Okay. So that's the basic information that you want to set for your recordings. Next, I want to talk about your sources. Under your primary sources, this is where you can control where your audio and video is coming from. So down here under video, you have the option. You can select your webcam. You also have the option to use none. So if all you wanted to do was do a voice over PowerPoint or walk people through a website without showing, without you being on screen, you can set that to none. And then all that will be recorded is your audio and whatever content you're showing on your computer. I'm going to set this back to Quick Connect USB though, so that you can see what a recording will look like. The next thing you can do is audio. You can tell what audio source you want to use for your computer. So if you have a built-in webcam in your computer or your laptop, it will probably select that microphone as your default audio source. You could also use a headphone microphone. So if you have one of those headsets, you could use one of those to record your audio. And this is where you will specify which one of those you want to use. You also have the option to set it to none. And I want to point this out because if you set this to none, you'll notice up here the record button goes blank and you can no longer start a recording. In order to do a recording in Panopto, you need to have an audio source selected. So I want to point this out because every once in a while Panopto pushes out an update, and occasionally this may get set to none by default. So if you do go to do a recording and you can't figure out why this button is grayed out, you want to check the audio setting to make sure you do actually have a microphone selected. All right. So a couple other things under quality. Standard quality should be sufficient for most of the things that you're doing. The only time you might want to set it to high or ultra high is if you were showing very specific graphics or a document with very small text, because if you use a higher quality standard, that'll be easier to read. And then under here, capture computer audio. This is an important setting if you are going to show a video and record a video through Panopto, like if you were going to do a YouTube video or play a video from another website. You want to make sure that you select the capture computer audio, because if you don't select that, then your students will be able to see the video, but they won't be able to hear the audio from that video. So if you're showing a video, YouTube, DVD, something like that through your computer, make sure you're selecting the capture computer audio. Okay. So that is the basic settings for how to capture you, how to capture audio, how to capture video. Down here, you also have options to set what type of content that you're going to capture. So you can either select capture PowerPoint or capture main screen. If I have this selected, I can select the enable capture preview, and that will show me what Panopto is going to capture in terms of content. Now you can also choose to uncheck both of these, and if you decide to do that, then Panopto is just going to record whatever your camera is capturing. So say you wanted to just do a video of yourself talking to your students. Since you are now just meeting with them online, it might be nice to do like a 3 to 5 minute video every week just to touch in with your students, you know, give them feedback. Hey, I really liked how class went last week. You guys are doing great on your assignments, or, you know, your assignments were good, but this is one area you should look to improve. That type of feedback. A nice video like this would be a great way to just add more of your presence to the course so that the students feel more connected to you. So you can do that by unchecking both of these boxes, and then Panopto will just record you without any content. But today I want to show you what it's going to look like if we capture both me and some content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to minimize some of this stuff in the background. I'm going to bring my PowerPoint back up. And then I'm going to use my Alt and Tab to jump back to my Panopto screen. And as soon as I'm ready, I want to capture my main screen. And I want to make sure that's what I'm going to be grabbing. So that looks good. And when I'm ready to record, all I do is hit record. And this will tell you it's starting. And now it's recording. So I'm going to minimize this. And now I can go through my PowerPoint like I normally would. So I can jump from slide to slide. And Panopto will capture that and record that. When I'm done, I can use my Alt and Tab and jump back into Panopto. And I can stop my recording or pause my recording. So I'm going to stop this. The difference between stop and pause, if you're going through your presentation and you finish it, you can hit stop and it's going to create a video file. But say you're going through your presentation and you just need a minute to collect your thoughts, or maybe you're going through a PowerPoint and you want to switch to a website, you could hit pause and it'll stop recording for a second, allow you to collect your thoughts or move to a different application, and then you can hit start again and it will keep all of the video before and after you hit pause together in a single video recording. So that's the difference between stop and pause. All right, so once I'm done, we get a screen like this, recording complete. You have the option to delete it and record again. So if you know you made a mistake, you can hit that and get rid of it. As you can see, after a minute of inactivity, it will then take me to my Manage Recordings page. And on this Manage Recordings tab, you will see here's Class 2 Panopto Demo. That's what I just recorded. When you do a recording, what Panopto will do is it will actually save that recording to your local computer as you are doing the recording. Then once you are done with the recording, it's going to automatically upload that video to the Panopto website and process it so that you can later share it. Now, you can see here that this is processing. This was just a 30-second video, and that's going to take a minute or two to process. If you do a much longer video, it will take longer for it to upload and process. But you can still go and create a new recording as that processing and uploading is happening. So I could just go back to create a new recording. That will get me back into this screen, and I can start again without waiting for the other video to finish processing and uploading. So you can do that. Now let me hop back into Manage Recordings. I want to see if this is done yet. Nope, it's still processing. So we'll just give this a second. Let me minimize my PowerPoints. Okay. All right. So now it is done. So when it's done, you have some options. You can hit View, and it will open up the recording you just did and start it playing. This will tell you it's starting, and now it's recording. So let me pause this. So this is what your Panopto video will look like. If you have your webcam going, it will record you in the upper left-hand corner. You'll see your content over here, and down along the bottom you will see PowerPoint slides if you're using a PowerPoint. So if you're using a PowerPoint, what Panopto does, it takes and it will create bookmarks automatically for each of your slides. So as you move through slides, let me show you a better example of this. All right, here's a better example of this. So this is a recording I did the other day. You'll notice here I have different slides along the bottom. As I click on each of those slides, or a student clicks on each of those, it will take you to that specific part of the video. So that's a nice option for your students. One of the main reasons why you want to use Panopto. There's also a discussion area, so you could have your students discuss a video. There's an area for students to share notes. They could add in private notes, or they could choose to share those notes with whoever else has access to the video. And another nice feature is your students can add their own bookmarks to the video file. So if they're watching the video, they can add a bookmark at a certain point where they think they might want to come back and view that later. Or they could add a bookmark where they paused watching a video, so if they watched part of it and came back to it later, they'd have a bookmark where they could jump specifically to where they left off. So just some of the benefits of using Panopto over a different recording software platform. All right, so let me go back to our Manage Recordings. The other thing you can do here, the other important feature is the Share feature. If I click on Share, this is going to take me back into the Panopto folder, and this is where you're going to find the information you need to share your recorded video with your students. So this is my video, Panopto demo. There are two pieces of information you need to know about in this area. The first is who has access. My recommendation for this, if you click on the arrow, it'll show you your options. My recommendation is to set this to anyone with the link. And the reason I recommend that is if you have it set to one of these other selections, if your students are not logged into Panopto to start with, they're going to get an error message saying they can't access the video. And they're going to think the link's broken, and they're going to email you to fix it. And that can cause a lot of emails for you. So my recommendation is just set it to anyone with the link, and that will allow your students to get access to it. Once you set anyone with the link, you want to remember to hit Save Changes. If you don't hit Save Changes, it's not going to save that, and your students may get that error message. So that's the first piece of information that you need here. The second piece is this links option. So once you have set your access, you then want to copy this link, and you can copy and paste that link into your Blackboard course. And that is how I recommend you get students access to your video. By copying and pasting this link into your course, they'll always have that link in the course, so they can go in there, click on it, and it'll take them right to your video. You could also email it to your students, but sometimes they lose emails, things like that. So that's why I recommend you put it in your Blackboard course. Okay, so that's everything you need to know, at least the basics for how to record lectures or videos through Panopto and get it into your course. There are some other options I want to go over real quick, just so that you can understand a little bit more about how Panopto works. So I'm going to close this window, and right now what I'm looking at is my folder again here on the Panopto website. And the video I just recorded is in my Class 2 folder. So if I click into Class 2, I will then see the Panopto demo, which I just recorded. In here, if you roll over the video, you have some options. You can delete it if you don't like it. You can see the stats, so that'll tell you how many people have viewed the video. Panopto also has some basic editing features, which will allow you to go in and edit your video after the fact. One of the real nice features is that once you're done with the recording, you can swap your PowerPoint slides in and out without having to re-record the entire video. So if you notice like a typo or the information on the slide changes, but what you were saying didn't change, you could just edit that slide and replace the current slide with the new slide in Panopto. You can also use this to trim the ends of the videos, things like that. If you're interested in learning more about that, I would recommend you hop back to the UBIT page and look at the help documentation there, and that will explain how to make those edits. Again, here's the share option, so you can change the share option. I'm going to click into the settings because there are a couple of different settings here you might be interested in. So when you open the settings, you'll go to the overview, and you'll see the name of your file. So if you forgot to add a name and you have just the date and time you recorded it, you can hit this edit option and then change the name for yourself. You can also use next to folder, you can click edit and use this to move your video. So if you dropped it in the wrong folder, you can move it around. You can edit a preview image. So we can do that. So you could upload your own custom image. And then again, here you will see a link, so you could copy and paste that link from here too. And I think that's the major stuff you need on this page. The other thing I want to point out is outputs. So if I click on outputs, over here you can actually download your video file. So this is a nice option in case you're worried about having your stuff stuck in Panopto. You don't really need to worry about that. You can always download the video file. Obviously, you'll lose the option to edit it through Panopto and do those things, but at least you'll have the video with your content and your audio, all of that together, so that you can share that somewhere else or keep an archive of it for yourself. Panopto also supports captioning, so if you have a student that is hearing impaired, let us know and we will work with you to help you get captions for your video files. So that is all the major information that you need to know about how to use Panopto. So if you have any questions or you want more information on any of these features, please let me know. I'd be happy to meet with you either through Zoom or call you over the phone to talk about what you need to know. So please don't hesitate to do that. The best way to get a hold of me is just through email. And my email is Sturman, STURMAN, @buffalo.edu. And if you shoot me an email, I'm really trying to get back to people within 24 hours. But given the circumstances right now, it might be a little bit longer than that. But if you email me, let me know what your question is. Maybe I can answer it through email. If you want to set up a time to meet, just include some days and times that you'd like to meet, and I'll let you know what's available for me. And I can always be flexible, so if you are an adjunct or you're working during the day and you need evening or weekend hours, just let me know, and I will try to arrange something that will work for both of us. Thank you for watching this.